Welcome to LIS754 Systems Analysis and Design. And in this short session, we're going to talk about why we are spending time in this class thinking about systems thinking. A couple of years ago, I was at a conference, 4 years ago now, 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago. I was at a conference called LIS, the Association of Library and Information Science Educators, and the Archivist of the United States came and gave a talk. And he talked about basically the keys to successful living, a successful employment in the 21st century. And I thought that he gave a very an excellent talk with terrific points. And one of the most important things he talked about, or the things that he said was most important, was the ability to think creatively. And what I'd like to do is go and show you the blog post that he wrote about this. Here's what he talks about: people having a broad background, having lots of experiences, being technically savvy, having a tolerance for ambiguity. And I think this is really a key component for being able to both deal in the modern workplace, where not having everything decided and having everything really clear is the norm. But it's also really a significant component of problem solving. Being able to know what I can ignore for now, how to prioritize the set of the problems within the problem set, the sub-problems, the subcomponents, and just saying, I can't deal with that now, we're going to deal with this question right now. Certainly being aware of the other question, but being able to tolerate ambiguity is a really important skill, a really important part of the problem-solving skill set. Having really strong collaborative skills, that is, working with other people to solve problems, to create solutions, and having a passion for working with people. As I might have mentioned before, and will mention again, working in systems is not primarily a technology skill. It is primarily people-oriented. Understanding people, understanding their problems, being able to communicate with people, to elicit information about their problems, and being able to communicate it well. And when you click on the link at the bottom of that page, you go to the full text of his speech. And what I want to just do is just scroll down. Here we are. In addition to the traditional knowledge that you need for your particular profession, whether you're in business, whether you're in education, whether you're in information fields, I believe with the Archivist of the United States that the ability to think creatively, to solve problems, is the most important skill set you can have. And while he doesn't call this critical systems thinking like we've been talking about it, or wicked problem solving like we'll talk about it, the ability to solve problems creatively, to determine critical issues, gather and analyze information from multiple sources, and find the root cause of the problem. Finding the root cause of the problem is the key. We want to be able to generate solutions based on considerations of their impact and implications. This is the definition of systems thinking that we are going to be working with during the course of this entire class, thinking creatively. Of course, we also want to think about achieving results, managing projects, promoting the satisfaction of the people who use our products and services. All of those are important things, but until we know how to think creatively and solve problems, these don't, this is the most important, the important thing. I want to talk just for a very brief moment about the root cause analysis, trying to find the root cause of things. And sometimes we think that we've already uncovered that. I worked for a software vendor company that wrote enterprise software for libraries. And one of my projects was to completely revamp and write a completely new circulation system. So that's lending the books out, getting the books back, making sure that the right people have access to the right materials, calculating the dates that things are due based on who you are and what the kind of book is. And it's a relatively straightforward yet complicated system, lots of little nuance, lots of little issues. And one of the components of this system is billing people for when they are overdue with their books. When their books are overdue, money is assessed and people get billed for their fines. There were lots of little issues with the existing system. I went through all of the problem tracking system and found all the reports of problems with the system. I had a user group that I worked with that I spent time talking about issues with the billing system. And I had worked for a large insurance company, and I spent a lot of time in the billing systems there. And one thing that insurance companies really know how to do is bill people for money. And so I had worked with lots of different billing systems. And so I designed a system that would be totally flexible, that had lots of options for configuration, that would handle every situation that everybody had ever talked about, and that solved all of the problems in the problem tracking system. It was really, I think, a thing of great beauty. It was highly functional. It was big and it was complicated because there were all these little nuances that people talked about. And I presented this system to the design to the user group that I was working with, this 8 or 10 people that I was working with, and they, at the end of my presentation, there was really this look of, they looked stunned, and it was completely silent, and I quickly picked up that there was something wrong with what I had just presented, and I asked what the issues were, and one person said to me, "We just want the book back." I was really taken aback. They just want the book back. I had designed a billing system fit for an insurance company that wanted the money. The libraries didn't really want the money. They wanted the book back. So no one would be willing to invest the time and energy to configure this system, to maintain this system, to get the money, because they just want the book back. So we sat down and worked through it and came up with a much simpler, more straightforward system to help them not necessarily collect the money, but to get the book back. So that's one of my little sayings to myself. Do they want the book back? What do they want? They want the book back. So making sure that we actually know what the root cause is, what the real issue is that we're trying to solve. If you have questions, let me know. I will talk to you soon.